Meantime, I reached out to a forestry specialist with MSU and UM, Dr. Peter Kolb, to discuss wildfire trends and forest management over the decades. Here's what he says about current wildfires and what fire crews are really up against. So first, explain what's happening with wildfires right now in Montana.
Well, we've had a pretty dry spring with some intermittent rain, but the last several weeks have been hot and dry. So our fuels are pretty dry, and we've had some significant thunderstorms and a lot of lightning strikes. And when they strike into those high fuels, they start to burn pretty severely. And we're kind of trying to contain those fires right now.
So there's the Windy Rock fire. So talk about the situation there.
Well, Windy Rock fire occurred from a lightning strike into a forest that's largely Bureau of Land Management. And part of that forest had been harvested in the past, and part of it has never been harvested, and the fuel conditions are extremely high in there. And then we have some photographs or some pictures to show you, to give you a demonstration of what those look like. But when those large accumulations of fuel start on fire, all you can do is try to contain them, which means that the fire suppression teams have to back up to where there has been past fuel hazard reduction or wildfires, where they can actually hope to contain that fire, because the fire behavior changes when it hits those low fuel areas.
All right, and then another fast-moving fire that we're tracking is the fire that's near Dillon in southwest Montana, and you have some familiarity with that area too. Well,
we have forest fires and we have range fires. Okay, so forest fires that we just described occur in situations like the scenario behind me, and this is the result of the 2005 to 2014 mountain pine beetle outbreak that killed about 50% of the trees on over 5 million acres. Those trees have fallen over, and now you have these incredible fuel matrices out there that just create massive 300-foot bonfires. The Dillon fire is more of a range fire. So these are dry grasses, sagebrush, juniper encroachment, so dense juniper stands. Very fine fuels carry fire very fast. So they're easy to ignite and they move fast. So a very different scenario. And this is typical for Montana, where we have range fires that can, some of them have been clocked at 80 miles an hour across the landscape. Whereas a forest fire moving at 3 to 4 miles per hour is a fast moving forest fire. So they're very different kinds of fire, different fire behaviors. The range fires, historically in Montana and across the United States, have resulted in more fatalities than forest fires because they're so fast and you get overrun. So on those type of situations, you have to mobilize your resources and try and suppress that fire or create containment lines as quickly as possible, which is doable in fine fuels. I mean, you mow it, you plow it up, 2 bulldozer lines, things like that. Aerial tanker attacks can really snuff it out. The trick is to catch it because it's so fast moving. With forest fires, it's fuel reduction, and obviously reducing the fuels in a scenario like behind me takes a long time. So the fire teams have to back off a long ways to areas that they can anchor from, where there already has been fuel hazard reduction, and build a fuel line that's containable and safe, because in fires like that, they will throw burning embers miles in advance of them. So today we're getting a front coming across, high winds, and so that's a very dangerous scenarios, where if you're on a fire line trying to contain a fire and the embers get blown behind you, that ignites the vegetation behind you on fire, now you're trapped between 2 fires, and nobody wants to put fire teams in that situation.